The breaking news that in this major reversal, Disney will bring Jimmy Kimmel back. That is a long ways from how they sounded last week, and that will be tomorrow. Disney and ABC announcing Kimmel goes back on the air despite these government Trump efforts to silence him tomorrow. Here is the statement. I'm going to read you exactly what Disney said so you can make sense of it yourself.
Breaking news tonight. In a stunning reversal, Disney has decided to bring Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. Just days ago, his show was suspended indefinitely under pressure from the Trump administration. So, what really happened here? Let's take a look.
Last Wednesday, we made the decision, these Disney executives say, to, quote, suspend production on the show, referring to Kimmel, to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. They continue today, quote, we have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday.
So Disney claimed they were just trying to calm tensions. But make no mistake, this was about government censorship. Trump's FCC pushed for Kimmel's suspension, and Disney caved. Now they're scrambling to explain their reversal.
Hundreds of actors, musicians, and directors signed what was a rushed and growing open letter. I mean, more people were joining that in real time up and through today and joining this effort, defending free speech. Many of these people saying it doesn't matter whether you agree with what was criticized about Kimmel or other things he or anyone has said. The whole point is free speech, not government censorship. Other artists boycotting the premiere of a Disney documentary. A major musician, Sarah McLachlan, skipping the red carpet for her own related company film in protest. It was just getting started. What happened inside the FCC, ABC government censorship war was not being contained. It was spreading to a wider war. Disney has other business and commercial and cultural interests, and they had Marvel stars from Pedro Pascal to Mark Ruffalo to Marissa Tomei speaking out against the suspension. They had consumers, as we showed you last week, canceling Disney+, and many other voices, including people who don't agree with Kimmel all the time or don't oppose Trump all the time, sounding the alarm against what was very clearly an admitted, possibly illegal, Donald Trump anti-free speech effort.
But it wasn't just Disney making this call. Actors, musicians, directors, and even Marvel stars pushed back. Boycotts of Disney Plus started trending. Free speech became the rallying cry.
The government cannot apply pressure to force someone to be silenced.
And then came the key distinction: free speech versus government censorship. It's one thing if viewers don't like what a comedian says. It's another when the government steps in to silence them.
Disney's stock took a hit during this whole crisis. You can see that there. Customers began canceling their subscriptions, not just to, say, ABC or Kimmel, but to the entire portfolio of Disney products. There are many ways to measure this. I can tell you Disney hasn't exactly announced just how much money they've lost or subscriptions they've lost. It's probably not in their business interest to fuel their own boycott. But one way you can look into this is Google Trends, where you see the normal churn of people wanting to cancel Disney, which could be for any reason. You could just say, oh, I'm tired of it, or I need to save money. But that's the normal churn on your left. And of course, around the suspension, this huge spike, according to Google Trends, of people just searching for how to do it.
This isn't just about Jimmy Kimmel. Trump also threatened other late-night hosts, and the fallout hit Disney hard. Subscription cancellations skyrocketed, showing the power of civic backlash.
Whoopi Goldberg making that distinction on an ABC program just today, The View. And the distinction she makes is important. I'm going to say this once before I show you a couple more details. We've covered this story. We're a program that has people on from all sides. We've had a lot of Trump officials on this program. We've had a lot of Democrats and people in the opposition on this program. And we've had a heck of a lot of other people, artists, people in that creative community I mentioned on this program. And we've always talked about the need for dialogue. And dialogue can, of course, include a negative public reaction. You say something and someone else says something. And we go back and forth. And that's the messy process of civic discourse in a democracy with a First Amendment. And I've told you before, if you haven't watched this program, on a more personal, professional note, Before I was doing this job, I practiced First Amendment law. These are areas of great debate with a lot of important history of people who have fought and sometimes taken great risks to have the right to uphold First Amendment speech in this country. What is not allowed, separate from public criticism, rebukes back and forth, is the government coming in, as Whoopi Goldberg stated there quite simply, to censor, to abuse government power, the power to tax or to fine, to imprison, to do retaliation or even regulation in the service of censorship. This is fundamental. It's why it's the First Amendment, not the 10th, not the 20th. It's the very First Amendment our founders put in the Constitution. Congress shall pass no law abridging freedom of speech or the press.
And finally, John Oliver said it best. Caving to bullies only makes them hungrier. This fight wasn't just about one comedian. It was about whether America still protects free speech.
Giving the bully your lunch money doesn't make him go away. It just makes him come back hungrier each time. Instead of rolling over, why not stand up?
So, Kimmel's back tomorrow. But the real question is, did this episode show us that the government can silence speech, even briefly, if corporations are too afraid to push back? Or did public outrage prove that free speech still wins in America? Let me know what you think in the comments.